cryptos. Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, the show where we discuss the latest cryptocurrency news. Today we are back with BlockPro. We're going to go through all the trading analysis and also talk about how you can trade on the weekends to be the most profitable you can be possible. As always, guys, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We'll go through the comments. But BlockPro, how are we doing today? How's the Monday treating you?
The Monday is actually treating me very well. We had some nice volatility yesterday evening, so it's been a decent day so far.
We're definitely going to go through that because you found the sweet spot. I know you're always busy on a weekend. You don't take the weekends off. You're always looking at the charts, but we will identify where you found that sweet spot and how to trade it as well, guys.
Yeah.
But first, let's go through the comments. Let's see who's here right now. We've got Justin in the house. I believe you were live with Stonksy earlier. I need to catch up on that. I was busy away working, but I'm going to check up on that. Guys, if you don't watch Stonksy, make sure to go over to their channel, subscribe. He has loads of good guests. He even has Wiz on here, who's in the comments. I can see from time to time as well. And Justin's got some great alpha for you guys. Always make sure to tune into the Stonksy streams every day at 1 p.m. We got Sammy T in the chat. LFG, good to see you. We've got Lillian, good to see you, my friend. Also, Hugo here, another OG from the CSC Plus. AV as well, saying LFG. Gannicus, good to see you, my friend. Wiz, who we were just talking about. Wiz, we're going to see each other in Paris very soon for NFT Paris. Can't wait for that. Gannicus giving a shout out to BlockPro. And we've got Steven here as well. Good to see you, my friend. But let's crack on with today's show. Before we go over to the charts as well, before we go take a look what BlockPro's found the alpha for us and he's going to show us. Let's take a look at the alt market here. That's crypto bubbles right now. We can see Hex up 17%. Actually a relatively green day. Is there anything that stands out to you here, BlockPro?
Not really that much, to be honest. Like, it is a bit of a green day, but we're down so hard still that, like, every green day, you notice that the motivation with lots of traders gets a little bit higher, but still, like, you need to search for them and be lucky if you are actually in the right trade at the right moment. So far, I do not really see any tickers where I actually go like, at least I see Pulse Chain. That's a good one.
Yeah. I've just toggled to the week here, and much more red on the market. Trump 15%. You can see here. OM Mantra is still chugging away. That's going to haunt me. I sold that back at probably around 50 cents. Not more much than I bought it for, and now $6. So that keeps haunting me. Bonk also down 4%. A lot of the meme coins, especially the high caps, have really been struggling. That brings me on to another point, guys. If you're wanting to short memes, head over to Oxfun as well. The link may be in the description. If not, I will send that in the Discord after as well. But yeah, it's been a little bit difficult. Bitcoin, however, has made up some ground. But let's head straight over to your chart. Let's bring this up, and we'll get discussing about how to make money on the weekends and how best to trade them, guys. Because a lot of you may even on a Sunday not be up to much, especially in the winter right now. If you're here in the UK or Europe, it's pretty boring on the weekend. So you might as well trade. You might as well make money. But let's get into it, BlockPro. What have we got to have a look at today?
So it's basically what we have, or at least what really catch my attention. And wait a minute, let me change the colors to normal.
Yeah, it's me being the cool
that makes it a bit easier. Well, what have I done and what have I noticed so far is pretty much in the weekends we see ridiculous amounts of volatility. And I also think that for a lot of people that actually just have a normal day job is that they would like to enjoy trading in the weekends, of course. Well, what I've done, you can see here all the blue boxes is actually starting from Saturday all the way up till Sunday. And what you will notice is that over all the boxes, or at least over most of the boxes, there are actually enormous moves during those time frames. So that means in the weekends, there is some volatility taking place. Well, I think that a lot of people also have noticed recently that all the bigger moves are actually happening now on Sunday night, from Sunday all the way up till Monday. So far we see now a couple of weekends where we actually started dumping on Sunday evening to recover a little bit on Monday, and that pretty much kept the flow on going. Well, I think if we go over all these weekends, and I box them all out that you can actually see on the 4-hour chart in this case, what do all these boxes have in common? Well, for that, I sadly enough need to change back to my blue screen, otherwise my volume indicator doesn't work. So let me do it like this. So I have here on the low side, I have my volume indicator on.
Okay.
And what we can see is as soon as I say reset chart, so the scale is now back to normal, is that in the weekends, we actually incur a very low amount of volume.
Yeah.
Well, there's an obvious reason for that. The institutions are closed, the stock markets are closed. So the big boys aren't trading at that moment. And what I've noticed is if we actually take an example, so let's focus on Friday the 10th of January all the way up till Monday the 13th of January. So what we can do is, if I set here some vertical lines on the chart, is that it leaves us with this box here. Now, let's zoom in on that box. What can we see is that volume throughout the weekend is actually flat.
Super
and it starts to take up towards that Sunday night. And I think that a lot of people need to be aware that when you have low volume in the market, it actually becomes really easy to move a market. The lower the volume is, the bigger the chance is for a breakout, and a breakout can be bullish or bearish, of course. Now, every time that you actually go into the weekend and think like, I'm off for the weekend, I'm going to trade. Well, please be aware that at the moment, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to actually open a trade on Friday and close on Sunday. The chance of you actually ending up back at zero, or even worse, getting stopped out or liquidated, is quite high. Well, every time that you actually see that your volume bar is so low during the weekend, so for example over here you can see it here on the lows, if we go towards the next weekend we can see actually the same happening, and then again on Sunday you see this massive spike towards the upside. Well, I think there's a bit of market fuckery going on here, because someone with big ass money knows that something that we call, for example, a CME gap exists. And for the people that don't know that, so the CME gap is basically an opening for institutions. So normally where the stock market closes in the weekends, we also have that in crypto, and on I believe Sunday night at 1 o'clock, that CME gap might get filled, and that means that we have a fresh restart of the week. It's a bit weird, because as crypto traders we just can go whenever. So this is actually limited to a time. Nice article here.
Yeah, the definition for CME gap, guys. Head over to Crypto Saving Expert if you're wanting to understand it a little bit better, but it's the Chicago Mercantile Exchange gap. So if you want to read up on that, make sure to head over to the site, guys. But I'll head back to your screen now.
So what we will see is, for example, on a Friday, is, let's say we close a Friday with a price gap. So for example, I take here the 31st of January. It might be the case that actually the crypto market closed on the CME with a gap here on the high side. Well, that means that during the weekend, a lot of people will actually start targeting to go for a long position to close that CME gap.
Yeah.
And what do we see recently? Like actually weekend after weekend is, we close it. But once this done, it actually comes flying down like crazy. So in that case, we can see some pure market manipulation playing out time and time again. So even if we look at the massive dump that we had recently, that actually wasn't that bad on Bitcoin, but was way worse on Ethereum, of course, is that we actually first climbed up to close the CME gap. And as soon as the CME gap was closed, the market started dumping. Where was the opportunity to actually get into good trades? Well, in this case, it was at 3 o'clock in the morning, Amsterdam time, or for Central European
2 a.m.
time.
UTC.
Yeah, so it becomes quite interesting. It becomes a late one,
on a Sunday as well. And just to clarify, bro, the low volatility, leading the weekend, it doesn't indicate that low volatility doesn't indicate which way it will open up early Monday morning.
No, the issue is, for example, if we would take a look at some CME gaps, for example, is you can see here from this is again from the 31st of January. So we actually left open that gap, and it also got filled. Pretty much on Monday. After that, we actually get rejected again. So it always acts as a bit as a magnet. But the thing is, we are all focused on, it's a bull run. We will go up. And then all of a sudden, you end up in a low volume weekend scenario. And that is a perfect opportunity for market makers to actually say, not today. We're going to actually try to liquidate everyone. So I think that one of the more important tips now is, especially if you look during the weekends, and then again, we need to go back to the Bitcoin chart, is if I would say, let's put it towards a 1 hour, is over here, you can actually see that even if you started trading on Friday evening, is that, or you got stopped out because we have
end up in the same position.
Yeah, you end up in the same position. So during the weekends, it might make more sense to actually look at short time frame trades. So pretty much something that you can find on the 15 minutes or on the 3 minutes, but to actually go into swing territory with 4 or daily, 4 hour or daily candles. It doesn't really make sense. So be aware that full low volume, again, you just put on the volume bar on your chart, and that will show you actually how bad it is recently.
So far, what I'm taking from this is close your trades Friday, go out with your family or friends Friday night, Saturday night, and then lock in Sunday, guys.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, what I often do is, and I've done this actually for years, is usually like my Sunday during the day, I'm pretty much off. I do not do that much. And then around 7 or 8 in the evening, I start to prepare for the week ahead. So that means we're going to scan the stock market. What can we expect? But it also goes towards crypto. And so far, I've seen that most of the trading opportunities for the bigger moves, so also what we see in our Discord with the guys that longing the crap out of Bitcoin, they are all on Sunday evening, timed after that CME gap is getting closed, or they base the decisions on where the CME gap is in combination with the volume. So I will be at least very careful of taking long-term positions at the moment when it comes to crypto in the weekends. Always wait for pretty much New York opening, and then often you have your answer about how it will go for the rest of the week. So I think it's an interesting one. So what I highly suggest is to basically take a chart and try to map out all the weekends that you can actually find on your Bitcoin chart and start to search how that volume actually keeps on repeating itself, because someone is just taking huge advantage of it, and maybe they watch this stream and then say, "Fuck, they found it out. Let's reverse it now." But yeah, I think it's a gem. You can trade it. You can make use of it. So.
We've got to mention, we're basically at the moment we're saying, get one step ahead of the institutions before they hit Monday, or they're even moving slightly towards Sunday evening themselves. But I saw, MicroStrategy have bought another 7,633 Bitcoin very recently as well. That's $742 million worth.
That's mental. That's mental. Also, usually when the tweet goes out that they have bought, often after that it starts dumping. That's also why I always say, like, when it comes to MicroStrategy and stuff like that, like, just make sure that, keep an eye on Twitter, keep an eye on what the guys from MSTR are saying, or what CZ from Binance is saying, for example. Sometimes they leave little gems out on Twitter. So yeah. Another thing that I wanted to address, Mr. Spot, is that recently we have seen like a massive crash. I know that a lot of people actually got liquidated, and that the hopes and motivations are low when it comes to crypto and trading. Well, one of the things that I would like to warn you guys about is pretty much the use of a unified trading account. So what we have seen in the market is, and that's also actually what everything suggested, is the complete market is to set up to actually destroy experienced traders and new traders and holders, and motivation needs to be low. Well, with a lot of European exchanges make use of a unified trading account. That means that if you are a perps trader, so you use leverage, is that your spot holdings will actually be used as liquidity for your leverage positions. Well, that can give you a false sense of where your liquidation level is at. So it might be the case that if you use a unified trading account, that you say, I never can get liquidated until something happens, like we have seen on Ethereum the other day. Just please, guys, make sure that if you use such an exchange with a unified trading account, and I know that a lot of exchanges actually has implemented this as a standard, that your spot holdings are like preferably on the ledger. And the other option is that you make a sub account that is actually not set up with a unified trading account, because there's nothing worse than actually losing all your crypto holdings.
Definitely not.
This little bit of a heads up. So many calls where people got wrecked. That's just
make sure to look out for this, guys. And also, like Block Pro said, if you've got funds that you aren't trading with, that you're holding on spot in an exchange, you should export them off to cold storage and keep them safe. The best traders, they will import their funds for the day trade. Once they're finished up, they will export to cold storage, nice and safe. There's many good exchanges out there at the moment. We're partnered with BLOFIN, who I highly recommend. They even use Fireblocks so that they're not in custodian of your funds. However, it's still best practice, guys, to only only have the funds that you're going to be trading with on the exchange that you're willing to put up as margin. And make sure if your exchange does use the unified trading version as well. But if not, the best practice is always to export those funds off when you're not trading and keep an eye on your margin.
Yeah, it's just sad to see when people get like they get a false sense of like, I'm being safe because I have a liquidation level of 0, and it doesn't matter if you're trading with $100 or $10,000 or $1 million. There will be a time where that number will pop up on your screen. And especially if you have multiple trades open, let's say you have 10 trades open, then the risk only becomes higher. So please be aware of, it's pretty much a loophole from the exchanges, and it's fine. It's how they make money. But I think that users should be aware of it. So make sure to actually double check how the setting is, how it is set up on your exchange. And the solutions are pretty much like a sub account. Preferably don't hold any spot on the exchange. When you want to sell your spot on the exchange, just transfer it from your ledger to the exchange to actually make that sell. And the other option that you can use, that is actually also using a stop loss even when you're spot trading. So
Yeah.
I know that BLOFIN has this option where you can buy spot also with a stop loss. You can use platforms like Femex does the same, Bybit does the same, Bitfavo does the same. They all have that stop loss element. So make sure that you actually always trade with that stop loss, because that's how you win this marathon pretty much.
It's a risk management game. And guys, if you're wanting to learn more about risk management, make sure to head over to our Discord. You can see here, code NY80 for 80% off for community monthly, guys. We do one-to-one education, daily AMAs rather, weekly AMAs from that Martini guy, daily AMAs from Block Pro. And we've got Pratik here saying, what's the win rate for future calls? We've had some bangers this year, man. And, you know, we also focus on trading. So meme coins, altcoins, trading, whatever you want, it's in the Discord, guys. Go join there. We've got Elia is also asking, can't see the link on stream. I've sent the link here as well, but it should be in the description below on YouTube as well, guys. But go check that out. NY80 for community monthly, only £20 a month. And you get access to myself, Block Pro, that Martini guy, and lots of great traders that we even see here in the comments, guys. So come join the best community going. But what are we going to have a look at next?
So I think that what would be good to look at for today, pretty much like give a little bit. So the thing what I've noticed today is that we actually spiked up quite a bit. So we had some decent volume going with the New York Open. It was actually quite good to see. But the other thing is, with the pump that we seen yesterday evening, that a lot of us actually longed. I also shorted it and longed it again, of course. But
you hit the sweet spot.
yeah, I had a quite nice rhythm. So I seen the wave and was like, yeah, this is just going to be easy. But what it did do was actually leave a gap behind towards the lows. So what's important at the moment is to keep an eye out to actually make sure that this might come down and form a market structure again.
Yes.
If we would actually zoom out towards a 4 hour, because then again, what is now important on the bigger time frames is to actually keep a big overview of what is happening. So you can see it here with this orange line towards the downside. Like a full market retracement could leave us back to 70k. I personally don't think that will be happening yet. It will come, of course. But what I did notice is that I normally do not do TA with trend lines at all.
No.
But again, with the bull run sentiment, it leaves us with some pretty decent information. So I think for the short-term play that we might see a retest towards 93 before we actually go up again and just start ranging in this form before we actually start to break out towards like 112. And then potentially come all the way back again. So how I approach this at the moment is I actually only trade now the 15 minutes. I use the backtest strategy. I go in aggressive, get stopped out, or I take my take profit. The stop loss goes to break even as soon as there are some profits on the table. So make sure to actually now, like I said, motivation is low for a lot of people. Yeah. And I think that one of the important things is, if you want to learn how to become a trader, start with the basics, start with a strategy, and also hold yourself accountable to that plan, because we all got pampered in November with insane gains, and most of us actually lost that already with these volatile moves. But that's also something that I'm working on with lots of my students at the moment, to actually come up with a good solid game plan that they can hold on to.
I just wanted to show some of the listeners as well right now that we do have a chart insights page in the Discord with some great TA. You get the dumbed down version of X. So if you want the proper version, guys, it's all in the Discord here. We can see Bitcoin, some good support levels, some good resistance levels there as well, and some possible trading scenarios also. And then also covered ETH, but we'll talk about ETH a little bit later today as well. But guys, as you can see here, all in the Discord is the proper information. We've got Pratik also asking, how often do you guys post meme con calls in CSC? Too much, Pratik. There's too many meme coins. They're flying at you from everywhere, guys. But no, it depends on the market, Pratik. Like right now, I'm not speculating on too many meme coins. There's a few that I have in mind. But when the market's booming and meme coins are going, you can imagine there's lots of calls in there from not only myself, but also other members as well. But yeah, let's head back to your screen here, guys. Once again, if you want to join the Discord, link is in the description below, guys.
Yes. So, well, I have here Ethereum in front of me. And what we actually have seen, and then again, like that massive market structure that actually retested all the way back. And yeah, Idris, I agree. The market was so difficult lately, but actually also not a whole lot has changed. It's just a chart. It's just some price going up and down. And as long as it doesn't move to the left, we can trade it. So I think that a lot of people actually got put off by this move here towards the downside. It was such a massive and aggressive move. So now that we have had this entire structure, what can we expect from here? Well, actually quite simple. We always go from accumulation into a range, into distribution, back into a range to go back into accumulation. So if I look towards the bigger picture, yeah, I think this was just a flush of a lot of positions to actually start sending it at some moment, and a lot of people will not be in the market while it actually gets sent. And mate, I remember the last cycle, and for that one we need to go a little bit back, but
just a little bit.
Maybe Russ, do you remember this moment in time here?
Ooh, what was the down on that?
So that was pretty much the 19th of May 2021.
Yeah.
So in that period, we actually have seen almost 70% drop. And that's painful. But after that, back into that accumulation phase to actually start sending it again. So this, when I see this, it's just part of the market.
Yeah.
It's nothing big. Yeah. It was a big move, but it is actually quite healthy if you look at the structure itself. So if we would actually map that out, let's say remove drawings, well, you can see I'm actually only on the daily, because for the lower time frames, I will explain that all in the Crypto Saving Expert Discord live stream that will be happening in 30 minutes. Ooh. So for the higher time frame, so on the daily, is what do we need to gain? Well, first of all, we need to find some stability here towards the lower side. Well, if we take a look at that, what can we expect? Well, a low of $2,080. Well, that's freaking nasty. And I don't think that will happen. Like, if I can get, again, an entry there, I will be so happy. I have set some orders there, just in case.
Some orders, as we call them.
Yeah, so I think what would be a possibility is to actually retrace all the way back down to 2,421. That might be a good solution. That also means that Bitcoin has actually the opportunity to close the 6 or 7% wick that we also have seen on that Monday, and that will be on Ethereum less volatile, because the low right here got bought up with about $500 million. So to go back there where the smart money is, I don't think those guys would like to see their nice trade in a loss. So maybe consolidation route at 2,400 level. After that, we need to start gaining again. When can you actually speak of a breakout? Well, we can trendline it, but we're not going to trendline it because on Ethereum it doesn't really work at the moment. So we actually want to see a clear breakout above $2,868. From there, we actually opening the road towards that $3,240. That's right here. Well, and then a magic number comes back in the screen. And this range has been like always the level to gain on Ethereum. Yeah. It's the same with Bitcoin. As soon as it's above $100,000, everyone is bullish. And as soon as it's below it, everyone is bearish. And with Ethereum, it's actually 3,500.
Yeah.
And if we would zoom out, then you can actually see why. Right. Well, we have not broken out, or at least we had some breakouts, but not like a clear breakout. You can see how
Wow.
important that level is. It's always been a resistance support level.
All the way
So-
back into 2021 there.
Yeah, it just goes back quite a long time. So 3,500 will then be the clear goal, but like keep in mind it's only a psychological level. After that, we want to actually look at 3,630, and from that point on, we start gaining towards that 3,954K range. What will happen after that? Well, everyone is happy again. Altcoins should run again. So yeah, it's an interesting one. But now, especially now, don't make a rush to get into that trade. Wait, make a range with a low and a high, and wait till you get into the low of the range, and then make your move. The chance that this will break out today like crazy all the way to the upside, I think the chance is small. So make sure to stay patient and wait for that correct moment to actually enter. If you look at altcoins, different story, because everything is just like if you bought in 2021, you are still crying because your price is below your entry. So that also means like with a lot of altcoins, there are actually some good buying opportunities. But then again, I will leave that for the live stream of tonight.
Yeah, we've got an altcoin live stream from Block Pro AMA in the Discord, guys. You still have a chance to join now, and you'll be able to join that in just under 30 minutes from now. I've got to mention as well, Ethereum outflows hit a 6-month all-time high recently. What's your take on this?
Yeah. Difficult to say, to be honest. No.
Still a little bit bearish on Ethereum. I'm still hoping that there's going to be a nice pump up until ETH Denver, their main, their mothership event of the year. Hopefully Vitalik announces something, or there's some rumors. Hopefully there gets a little bit of volatility and more volume for Ethereum. But we can hope right now, guys. But the best is to keep an eye on it. Like Block Pro said, keep an eye on those ranges, and then only make the trades when you're confident and it's broken out of that range. Also,
it's one of the last things that we can actually check is to see what's happening with Ethereum versus Bitcoin, but also on that everyone got wrecked. So basically this green lower line here at 0.02, well, that one goes all the way back towards, you can see it even here, so 2019. So even if you bought alts in 2019, you're still absolutely fucked. So that's also why I say just make a DCA plan if you are completely wrecked, because bull run is not cancelled. It might feel like that, but it's probably not. It probably will get sent without you in it. So come up with a plan to actually buy some decent positions. Further, I still think based on measurements, like when do we see some price action again? And what I've seen from last week, it also reminded me a lot of FTX and the Luna collapse.
Yes,
and that also took a couple of weeks before the confidence came back into the market. But it also means that you can make use of that to actually start investing. So I think pretty much around March, I personally have end of March, might be off with a couple of weeks, but around March, we might start to see some reversals again.
Mentioning FTX as well, I did see today that they are going to begin repaying their customers on the 18th of February. But wait for this, only customers from the Bahamas. So everyone else, you'll have to be waiting. So if you're from the Bahamas,
well done. You probably won't need it, but
exactly. And also, I've got to mention one of your favorite altcoins, or shall I say, one of your favorite altcoins to short, XRP. CoinShare have filed for a spot ETF for XRP.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Let's have a look at XRP and see if there's much movement there.
The thing, so when it comes to XRP, I actually have stopped looking at the price. Well, first of all, it makes me feel sick because I think it's just a dirty ass coin. But what I still what I found with XRP was pretty much like we have said already, that range of 106 billion. That would be some sort of reversal point in the market. Well, we have seen that 106 billion back on XRP, but it also recovered quite fast. So I'm hoping for a slow bleed towards the downside, because I'm not a firm believer of XRP at all. I think it's the most toxic centralized.
Oh, the mic's gone. Be coming back very shortly. We got Listy in the chat saying he received last Friday part of his money from FTX. Okay, so they've been repaying some other users from other demographics as well. Perhaps it was just an announcement for the Bahamanian or the people from Bahama.
Yeah. It's still an interesting one. Because like
so hard on retail, Roy was saying.
Yeah, like the thing is, like, how many times have we not seen this thing coming, just wicking towards the downside? In my opinion, it happened a little bit too often. It's also, of course, it can go way higher because in the end it remains crypto. But is it actually realistic to say XRP goes towards $1 trillion market cap? Mate, it's crypto, but no, I'm not buying it. But yeah, then again, if you have invested since for the last 8 years in XRP, well, congratulations. I'm not touching it. I'm waiting for the short. That's my game plan. But it is still an interesting one. But that's also
with XRP block, bro. Do you think it's going to be institutions versus retail? Who's going to come out on top in that one?
Well, I think it will be the case where the US is going to say after a while, basically what they said last week was with their lovely press conference. Basically what they said, a bunch of old dudes. We are here to take over and we're going to regulate the hell out of it. But you should have bought something that we are backing and then you should be safe. And that is pretty much how I see. That's how I see all these ETFs. It just shows like, oh, make it safe to invest in and shit like that. But in the end, it is crypto. You can smack $1 trillion against an ETF, and you still will not be in charge of the direction of the market. And I think it's a bit of a retail sell story. But if you know some Bitcoin OGs or Ethereum OGs or Solana OGs, they are just laughing away because it's just another factor to play with. So I think ETFs are complete bullshit when it comes to crypto.
We've got Wizard of Bolt saying Brad Garlinghouse was silencing you there when your mic dropped off. The XRP army are listening in. They don't want any fun.
God, no, I will not go after the XRP army anymore. It cost me about 300 followers on X.
Yes, yeah, you told me about that. Funny.
So I will be kind to them.
Talking about ETFs, also, I saw Japan is considering filing for a Bitcoin ETF. They need a little bit of help with their economy right now, anyway. So perhaps a good move, but maybe they'll be buying the top also.
Yeah, but. Well, that's like, first of all, like one of the issues with these ETFs. Like, of course, this bullish news because like it's more money flowing in. Mm-hmm. But remember, like, are you actually going to buy an ETF at $100,000 Bitcoin or $93,000 Bitcoin? Doesn't really make sense to do. For that, you want to do it how the Trump administration has done it. Is pretty much say, let's nuke the absolute shit out of Ethereum. And once we have done that, we're going to buy. And now we can say, oh, we're done buying. That's pretty much what Eric Trump tweeted with, oh, it's now a great time to buy Ethereum. It was basic
on the Tuesday, right? After the Monday crash last week.
It was mental, mate. He basically said, oh, guys, no worries. We are done buying. You can go ahead now.
Yeah, literally. He tried.
So, I think the manipulation is just on top at the moment. I freaking love it, but it also it frustrates you. It burns you out as a trader. Yeah. But yeah, stick with the plan. You should be fine in the long term. But geez, man, this market, it's on crack from time to time.
It's been fun, man. And just to recap on what we've mentioned today, if you caught the show late, guys, go back and watch it as well, because we mentioned there that there's a sweet spot on a Sunday evening where retail the volatility's been and volume's been real low over the weekend, and then if you're a savvy retail investor, you can get in there before the institutions.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. I think that like that sweet spot for me personally, like around 7 in the evening, is where the screens get turned on, and pretty much trade till when the price action is over. So sometimes it's 3 or 4 in the morning, but yeah, there are no work times in crypto, sadly enough.
No, exactly.
You're in.
Life we live.
You're in or you're out. That's how I see it.
Do you have anything else you want to bring to our attention today before we go over to the AMA in Discord?
Well, like I said, I think it's quite important to keep a good eye on the weekend volume. Also, the New York openings are actually quite important. And one of the last things that I actually want to give you guys is to make sure that you actually throw an eye on the S&P from time to time.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say this is, again, this is on the weekly chart, by the way, and if I start to zoom out, like there was someone asking about a meme coin. Well, I hope your next meme coin does this. But you can see that this is just close to topping out at the moment. So every time that's something that I do when I start my day, I start scanning also the stock market, and that is pretty much where I make a complete list of what is reacting to what. So IX also, going towards that all-time high again, and always here the mini futures on the Nasdaq, same, the index, same, Nikkei. Quite interesting, but still, if you look at the global overview, it's also sky high. So then we get into the Magnificent Seven. This is pretty much where the macro guys would go absolutely crazy, because we know that the stock market doesn't look healthy at all. And it might be the case that once this starts coming down, that some capital starts flowing into the world of crypto. You can see it the same with gold, for example, $2,903. Wow. That's mental. But then again,
I've got my gold Bitcoin here.
Nice.
I'll be quids in.
So the thing that we can hope for is when this starts to top out and starts coming down, is that a couple of trillion flows into the crypto market. Just a couple. We don't need much. Like we need like 7 in total or something like that. So and then we can start, or at least recover from what has happened with the crash. So I think we're close. Day by day. Don't trade too crazy at the moment. Just trade what you see. Also, when it comes to making decisions for trades, always just do it based on your charts. Especially with the normal or with the normal tickers like your Bitcoin and your Ethereum and stuff like that. Just look at your chart and make a decision based on that. By saying like, oh, it's going towards 500,000, well, that's all fun and games, but do you see it? It's not there. So be careful with it. So yeah, that's pretty much that's it for me, by the way. So I need to go.
Awesome. Thank you for your insight today. And like I said, we've got another hour of AMA with Block Pro in the Discord, guys. If you're not already a member, you can join and you'll be in there before it's even live. And use code NY80. That means it's only £20 a month to join Community Monthly. Guys, like I said, there's one-to-one tuition, one-to-one legal advice in there, technical analysis on Bitcoin, Ethereum, other alts as well, meme coins, pre-sales, anything you can imagine, it's in the Discord there. And also we've got so many chads, so many of the audience here are already in the Discord, and they're great members. And as always, we're stronger together, guys. So I'd like to join you all there in the Discord, guys. Come see us. We'll be live in about 10 minutes. Block Pro's going to go over some more analysis. What are you going to go over today, Block Pro?
We're going to discuss some 15-minute time frames on Ethereum. there are actually like a lot of opportunities to trade at the moment on the lower time frame. So we need to discuss like where are the ranges, the range low, range high on the 15-minute time frame, so that our members can do some day trading or scalping. We're going to do the same with Bitcoin, and another one that I actually have found was AVAX is quite interesting at the moment. So we're going to discuss those, do some in-depth technical analysis on it. I will not tell you 100% what to do, but I will tell you at least where to look out for. And it's also always an opportunity to ask your questions. So that's on the program for tonight. So yeah, it'll be a good one.
Block Pro, thank you so much for today. It's been really insightful. Guys, I'll catch you in the Discord. Make sure to like and subscribe. And there's a very special stream coming on Wednesday, 11 a.m. UTC. Do I drop the alpha yet? I'll drop it in the Discord, guys. See us there. Take care. Bye.